What is up, everybody? Jake O here today. And before I start this video, please subscribe to my channel and check out my description, which has my Patreon below. Subscription pledges start at just $1 a month and helps me oh so much to keep a roof over my head and food in my mouth. So thank you so much. So today's topic, as you guys can see by the title, is how do I balance my work life and my family life? And the answer to that, just bluntly speaking, is it's extremely difficult. And now, why is this? Well, as you guys know, if most of you know, that I pretty much got awarded the main custody of my daughter. Now, that doesn't mean I have her all the time, but as of right now, I have her pretty much the end of Sunday night to the end of Friday night. And the reason for this is, one, I wanted it, but two, she will be starting school in August, the early start program, and I want to be her schooling parent. And this was before my son was born, so my goodness, that's a lot of kids. This is before my son was born, so I felt like I had a lot of time to be able to devote to her, which I do, and I still do. But when my daughter's over, it's literally impossible not only to get almost anything done, but anything related to my work. I can't go on camera. Now, I could still be on my phone, when I'm in a private area and stuff like that. But even then, it's just like the want or feel the need to have to do that just isn't there. And now that's very concerning. It's concerning financially, because that could be another reason why I'm struggling financially, because I'm not willing, or not willing, but not wanting to put in that effort necessary to, pay my bills and then have some extra over, which is essential. And it's almost like a dire situation, because once it runs out, that runs out. And right now, my significant other isn't working because she's staying home taking care of our son. And even if she was working, we're talking about maybe an extra $1,000 a month if she worked really hard. And that being said, $1,000 a month versus me being the one taking the time to take care of our son, and then having the energy to exuberate and take care of my daughter, is, like I said, very, very difficult. So I apologize about the sun. It's so bad in the mornings. And bear with me as we work through this together. So yes, working with my daughter here is almost impossible. Then I've gotten to a point where I'm just pretty much working online on Saturdays and Sundays. And then what happens is I wait till like 4 or 5 to go on. And by that time, it's either dead or not really active. And that's like the only time I'm at my physical computer throughout the week, when realistically I should be waking up early. I should be going on. If it's not good in the morning, then I should definitely go on at night. And if I'm struggling in general, I should be on in the morning and the night. Because when I work, back in the days when I was living at mom and pop's house, working out in the garage, it was, hey, you need to work until you make this much in the morning and this much at night, or you're not getting off. Or my shifts were like, I think I did like 4-hour shifts. And if it was good, I would stay on longer. And I got into this mindset after all of these years, just like, hey, look, if things aren't working out, I can just get off, right? And if you're not making nothing, then how can you walk around with that mentality? When I want to tell a story, but I also want to stay on topic. But the point is that just 5 years ago, and just 5 years ago, I know it sounds like forever, but realistically, I was at a point in my life where I was at the top. What I mean by the top was like the highest earning income that I was making, and I felt so comfortable. But the problem with that is I also felt so comfortable to spend every penny that I was making. Now, please keep in mind, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything illegal, right? I just don't. That's not who I am. So when I talk about spending money, maybe it was on a house, maybe it was on a car, maybe I bought a lot of things from Amazon. And it's just crazy that it took me so many years to realize about saving, realize about tax deductions, and learn taxes more. And it's unfortunate that I had to go through all that alone and I didn't have the guidance necessary to prepare myself. Now, I'm not blaming anybody besides myself, but at the end of the day, guidance can help you out a lot in life. So let's talk about the balance again with my family. So now that my son is born, my son's a month and a half about right now. A little more than a month. No, it's about a month and a half and a day. And he's great. Mom takes care of him primarily most of the time. I might take care of him maybe an hour or two, maybe 3 a day. But realistically, I do not put my career first. And when I say career, I'm not going to explain it because you guys understand what I'm talking about. So, but I was talking to my dad the other day and he's like, look, at the end of the day, usually the man works all day, comes home and barely sees his children unless it's the weekends. So, or Sunday. And I realized that, and I realize how fortunate that I am to spend as much time as possible with my children, even though a lot of that is doing procrastinated, a lot of that is part of procrastination, but doing hobbies that I enjoy as well, which take up a lot of my time, that aren't that beneficial to me, I would say. I mean, yes, you're playing games, you're having fun, but that doesn't mean per se you're making money or you're enhancing your intelligence in any way. So to me, it's like, yeah, you're having a little bit of fun, but realistically, you're just wasting your time. That's how I look at it. And yet I continue to do it. I continue playing NBA 2K since NBA 2K5. And it's just, I keep doing it, you know, every single year I keep doing it. So, as I'm driving right now, but I'm just thinking about it because I just had a nightmare of me getting to an accident yesterday because my car just turned off and for some reason my gas wouldn't stop going and my brakes weren't working and they turned to a corner and I got into an accident. It's so crazy how I can remember a dream so vividly. Like the cops were there and I was explaining to them the situation. And unfortunately, my daughter and my son were in the car, but nobody got hurt, so that's good as well. So let me get a sip of water real quick. Police. Now you're backing up off the line because you see the police. Got it. So that being said, I there's so many things that I contemplate in my head. You know, I think about talking to my partner saying, hey, look, is it okay if I do this with this sex, not this gender, because I know that it's going to help me be able to prolong this career until about 40 and be able to make enough in order to pay off my house, in order to pay off my cars. This way that once this is all said and done, either I can just continue the subscriptions or I can find a regular job and make that work out. So I didn't think in any way, shape, or form in 2020 that this is where I would be in 2025. That's just how I feel. So again, this is not I'm not trying to make this a complaint video saying, hey, look, I'm in crap water and I need help. I'm not begging anybody for help. That's not what I'm here to do. But there's a lot of things that are also still in the works that can potentially help me out that have been delayed for multiple reasons. And another thing is X, which apparently allows NUD, is shadow banning everything. It's shadow banning links. It's shadow banning specific words. And if I don't advertise with links, people in general, and I'm just saying my family, but people in general are pretty lazy. So if you don't see something in front of your face after you saw something that you liked, you're usually not going to go on a different scenic route in order to click that link in order to subscribe. That's just the way it is. So X itself has made my business that much more difficult because it's hard to get people to want to do a 2 or 3 step situation in order to subscribe, which I completely understand. So X is kind of screwing me over, and there's nothing really I can do about it. So that's just what it is. Now, there's a million things that I can do to not only reinvent myself, but make people just want. This traffic's so bad. Hold on. Make people want to join. Make people want to subscribe. And I don't know if it's that balance of, hey, my kids are in the house, or hey, my partner's in the house, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Like, I'll give you an example, and I'm trying not to get demonetized, so I'm going to speak about this in a specific way. So there's a lot of things that I can do that's more creative that I think that people like, even though they see me more as a TOP, that people would buy. So let me give you an example. I haven't been selling any PPV videos on my main page. I haven't gotten any custom requests. So those are two options that were bringing in maybe $2,000-$3,000 a month, which is very beneficial, and I just haven't been doing them. One, because I haven't really been getting requests, and then two, because I wasn't pushing out those things. And pushing out those PPVs are going to intrigue people to want to request more things, because they're like, oh look, I didn't know he was even willing to do this. So if he's willing to do this, I want something specifically for myself. So that's important as well. So I know this is a little bit off topic, but it all correlates into one big thing with my children and my comfortability level. So right now I'm in the process of building a home. However, I might not even qualify for it. I may lose a bunch of money again. I may not be able to get the house. But if I don't get the house, and if I do get the house, either way, I am going to be building an office in my garage that is going to allow me to have the privacy that I need. It's going to have insulation. It's going to have a thicker door. It's going to be away from everybody else. And my kids are going to believe that I'm going to work, and my car is going to be in the garage, and the garage is going to be locked. And the door in the garage in my office is also going to be locked. Because if I don't dedicate my time to my work, I will fail. I will lose everything. I will fail. And not only will I fail myself, I will fail my partner. I will fail my children. Now, a lot of people are just like, yo, Jake, why don't you just get a job? Okay, let me explain something. Number one, I could get a basic job making $10 an hour, right? If I work 40 hours a week, that's $400 a week, minus about almost $100 for taxes, right? So that's $300 a week. You times that by 4, that's $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month, no offense to anybody, but isn't going to pay for anything. Even if my partner was making $1,200 a month and I was making $1,200 a month, $2,400 a month wouldn't pay for anything. And that's just the ugly truth about it. Right now, my bills are so over the top. And let me just explain one. And I don't have the nicest house. Let me make that clear. I don't have a huge house right now. My house is 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a den. And it's just enough space for me and my family of 4. I can't include my parents in this house. There's no room. And my mortgage, and I explained this before, I'll explain it again. My mortgage is $2,900 a month. That doesn't include home insurance, number one, and it doesn't include my HOA. And I have 2 HOAs, so that's $550 a month. And obviously, it doesn't include my utilities, which is about $250 to $300 a month. So you add up all those numbers, right? And we're talking close to $4,000 a month. Just on housing. Just on housing. Now, you could say, well, why is your house so expensive? Well, my house really isn't, super expensive. My house was like $420,000, which is a lot, but not really for South Florida. The problem is the 6.7% interest rate on that amount. The problem is the HOAs, which add up. So, and the taxes that are pretty high, So that's just what it is. So like I said before, $1,300 or $1,200 or $2,400 a month isn't going to do anything for me. But that type of money on top of what I'm already making is very beneficial. Now, here's the deal. If I was doing my work and my employer found out about it, more than likely I would be fired. Now, if I quit my job and I look for a job that pays more, usually they require either a lot of experience or a degree. I don't have a degree. And I don't know how much experience I can prove. I do have a resume. I was a personal trainer. I was a master trainer. I did do website development and design. But just it's a dog-eat-dog world when it comes to occupations. And truthfully, with my feet and my back, I can only do so much. The job that I primarily will need would either have to be sitting, working from home, etc. I don't even know if I can collect unemployment because I can still physically work, just not standing up and moving around for too long. I just can't do that. So even if let's just say I got a good job, I'm making $30 an hour. Hypothetically, and I'm working 40 hours a week. That's what is that, $700? $30 an hour, 40 hours a week. That's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 30. Damn, look at this. This is why I didn't graduate. So if I'm making $30 an hour and I'm working 30 hours a week, it's 300 times 4, which is 612. That's $1,200 a week. That's $4,800 a month. Okay, that would help. That's still not going to pay all my bills, obviously, but that would help. And if you said to me, hey, look, if I can't work for 30, but hey, look, if you quit your job and remove all your stuff for $50 an hour for guaranteed work, then yeah, but nothing's guaranteed. You can be fired from that job in a week. And I just gave up passive income for a job that I can be let go of anytime. And yeah, I can get fired from my job now. But if you fire me from my subscription site, right, there's other subscription sites I can do. If something happened to my Twitter, I can always make another Twitter or use another profile on a different thing. So there's no real way that I can be permanently fired from my current work, where any other job you can be fired for anything, right? Anything. And unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please subscribe to the Patreon. Please subscribe to my channel. Everything helps so much. I am monetized again, so I'm making $100, $200 a month, if that, from here, which, okay, that helps pay for a couple things, which is great, and I appreciate it so much, and I value it so much. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope one day I meet the right person and I can work in something that I enjoy doing while I'm being paid good money, and I can focus on that. I really like construction. I really like being what is it? Construction manager? No, it's there's another name for it, but yeah, there's a bunch of things I like to do. I would like to open up my own training facility. I would like to do web design. There's so many things I would like to do, but obviously AI is taking a lot of jobs. But I'm Jake, guys. Hope you all have a great day.